You know that feeling, right? You get to the end of the day, you're totally wiped out. But when you look back, what did you actually get done? I mean, sure, you answered the emails, you showed up for the meetings, you managed your calendar, but that one big thing, the work that really moves the needle, it got pushed to tomorrow. Again. It's this universal frustration, this feeling of being constantly busy but always behind. So what's going on here? What's the hidden signal we're all missing? Let's dig in.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's a puzzle that I think haunts pretty much every founder, every operator, every creator out there. We're all taught to guard our calendars like a fortress. We block out our time, we schedule every last minute because we think time is our most precious asset. Or is it? What if we're protecting the wrong thing entirely? What if the real resource that's scarce isn't time but something way more valuable and a whole lot more fragile?
And that brings us to our first signal. It's this really counterintuitive truth about what's actually in short supply during our workday. We call it the scarcity illusion.
Okay, so here's how most of us operate. The default belief is, I just don't have enough time. We say it all the time. But when you look at how top performers actually function, the signal point's somewhere completely different. The reality, the fundamental truth, isn't that you're out of time. It's that you're out of usable, high-quality mental energy. That is the truly finite resource.
And this isn't just some vague feeling, It's grounded in cognitive science. We all have this finite reserve of what's called cognitive capacity. Just think of it like your brain's raw processing power, the juice it needs for really complex thought, for making tough decisions, for genuine creativity. And here's the kicker. That capacity isn't a flat line through the day. No way. It predictably peaks for just a few precious hours. It's your brain's prime time.
So here's the crucial point. It's 3 p.m. You've still got hours left in the workday, right? But your best thinking, that's probably already gone for the day. See, fatigue doesn't stop you from working. It stops you from thinking clearly. It erodes your judgment long before it kills your effort. You can still tick boxes, you can still answer emails, but that razor-sharp focus you need for the big stuff, it's just not there anymore. So you don't run out of hours, you run out of clarity.
Okay, so if that's the signal, how does it actually show up in the real world? Well, we see a really clear pattern, and it's this. The work that creates the most value, the work with the highest leverage, it demands our freshest energy.
Just think about the kind of work that truly changes the game. We're talking deep strategic planning, writing a really complex piece of code, designing something totally new, or navigating a high-stakes negotiation. Come on, these are not things you do when your brain is fried. This type of high-leverage work is, well, it's fragile. It needs your full cognitive firepower. You just can't do it on fumes or leftover energy. It demands your absolute best, not just your availability.
And this is the pattern you see over and over with top operators and creators. Their mornings don't look like a logistical scramble. They're not just clearing their inbox. No, they figure out their single most important high-leverage task and they dedicate their peak energy to that first. All the admin stuff, the logistics, that gets whatever energy is left over. It's never, ever the other way around.
So if this pattern is so clear, why do so many of us do the complete opposite? Well, it's because there's a game being played on our calendars every single day, whether we realize it or not. We call it the primetime heist.
Just look at this. This chart basically visualizes the quiet theft of our most valuable asset. Our peak energy hours, our prime time, they're systematically colonized by all this low-value, shallow stuff. And look at that tiny little sliver for deep work. It's almost nothing. Meanwhile, meetings, emails, and admin tasks just expand to fill our best hours, leaving us with only the scraps for the work that truly matters.
And this has a powerful, invisible cost. A lot of us think we're warming up for the day by clearing our inbox first thing. But we're not warming up, we're burning out. We are spending our best, most finite cognitive fuel on the least important things. So by the time we're finally ready for that deep work, our peak energy is gone. So what you do first doesn't just set the tone for the day, it decides what you never get to.
Now, failing to understand this game has a very clear cost. It creates what we call the clarity deficit. And this really helps explain why some people get overwhelmed, burned out, and ultimately become replaceable.
It all starts right here. You're putting in the hours, you're working hard, no one can doubt that. But because you're operating on low cognitive energy, you're making poor decisions about what to even work on. It becomes all effort with very little judgment.
And this state of effort without judgment naturally leads to the next stage, activity without leverage. You're busy just spinning your wheels. There's a lot of motion, a lot of activity, but no real forward momentum. You're just constantly reacting to inbound requests instead of proactively driving the outcomes that actually matter.
And here is the ultimate cost of that cycle. When all your time is spent on low-leverage activity, your unique value, your strategic insight, your creativity, it never even gets applied. You become a cog in the machine. You're visibly busy, for sure, but you're also easily replaceable because the very work that makes you indispensable never gets your best energy.
So how do the people who win this game think differently? Their edge comes from a fundamental shift in perspective. They stop thinking in units of time and start thinking in units of energy.
They use a mental model for energy allocation, not time management. Here's how it works. First, you identify your sharpest 2 to 4 hours of the day. Then, you assign your single most critical, high-leverage work exclusively to that window. And this is key. You protect these windows, not just the hours on the clock. Everything else, the logistics, the admin, that gets handled with the lower quality energy that remains. It's not about a schedule, it's a strategy for deploying a scarce resource.
Look, this isn't about adopting a new productivity hack. It's about understanding the physics of how real work gets done. So to apply this to ourselves, let's finish up with a quick personal energy audit, distilled into 3 sharp questions.
First question, forget about the clock for a second and just be honest with yourself. When during the day is your mind at its absolute sharpest?
Okay, second question. Look at your calendar. What do you typically schedule first? Is it your most important work, or is it a reaction to someone else's agenda?
And finally, the most important question. Think about those peak hours of clarity and strength we've been talking about and ask yourself, who or what is currently getting them? Is it your most vital priorities, or is it your inbox? The answer to that question might just determine everything.